As a Black woman, as an asexual activist, I've been told that I am the epitome of wokeness going too far.
Maybe she just has some weird definition of asexual because she says asexuality doesn't make you undesirable or unable to desire others. It is a unique experience of sexuality, not a deprivation from it. No, no, it is definitely a
Please.
deprivation of it by definition.
Please stop. Stop.
I don't know.
Thunderstorm in the chat says, Sitch has no chance. Let it go, Sitch. She's asexual.
Oh my God, look at me following Toby. Okay. I guess that kind of means you're on par with an Instagram model, Toby, if we're looking at the lineup. But I was really honored to be invited to do a debate at the Oxford Union, but also incredibly nervous when I saw what the subject was and who was in opposition. And I was nervous because it feels like a strangely personal.
Yeah. What's up? Oh my God, Sitch. Why are you pausing so much? Sitch! Why did you pause it? Why are you such a sexist, Sitch?
I'm so
confused. My God.
I didn't know that there was Californian Brits out there. What is happening? My brain is melting. He's simultaneously from Hollywood and British?
Yeah, of course.
How is this
Hollywood,
a thing?
UK.
What is happening? How is this possible?
I didn't watch this one, and I was wondering because she's sitting next to James Lindsay, and I was like,
Yes.
oh wow, look, James Lindsay's got himself a hot date.
I know. Well, no, I assumed she was talking. You bigot.
Why? I mean,
because all the people are talking are sitting together.
Okay, is that it? Well,
Yeah.
but she's sitting. So James Lindsay is on the anti-woke side.
Yeah, yeah. You didn't hear his speech?
Well, I guess I did. Yeah,
he's arguing in favor. He's arguing against the proposition. His proposition is wokeness hasn't gone too
okay.
far. Yeah.
I mean,
against
sure he is.
Well, yeah, of course. Obviously, he's doing it somewhat satirically, but
they let that fly.
I guess that means he gives a pretty genius speech.
Yeah.
She's got like the California beach accent, but she's also British. I've never heard this before. This is amazing to me.
This is incredible. Sitch just fell in love. He's like,
I did. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. This is like, my brain can't handle this.
We can watch this one twice.
Incredibly nervous when I saw what the subject was and who was in opposition. And I was nervous because it feels like a strangely personal topic, but I realized that that's not a reason to shy away from it, and all the more reasons to get involved. And the thing is, you can't really debate whether woke culture has gone too far without first establishing what woke means.
Well, also, it doesn't help too, and I brought this up because their little box is shorter.
Right.
Like they have to really lean over to on the box, and the other side can kind of
her heels are 1 foot high.
Well, that's true. You know what? That's a good point. If she didn't have those massive heels, she wouldn't have to be looking down. That's a good point. Yeah, it's a great point.
Means, and there might never be a consensus there, but what it means to me as a Black person is quite different to how it's often depicted now. I remember I first heard the term woke, it was back in 2014. It was around the same time as Michael Brown was killed by the police, and we were seeing the first Black Lives Matter protests in the US. And it had been used in various forms in the Black community, particularly in the African American community.
Which all turned out to be BS because, anyway, the entire narrative around Michael Brown turned out to be completely all fake.
But you know how few people know that?
I know.
It's the same as Kyle Rittenhouse. Everybody just has the fake narrative that they're going to go to their graves believing it's true.
Community long before that. We can actually find record of it back in the 1930s when Lead Belly performed a song called The Scottsboro Boys, which was about a particularly horrendous case, and it was about racism in the criminal justice system. And at the end of his performance, he encouraged the audience to best stay woke and keep their eyes open. To be woke meant to be aware, to be informed, to be vigilant, to know your history as a Black person and the legacy it has on your community now. Being woke was something to aspire to, and Naturally, being woke also started to encompass having an awareness of other forms of injustice, because you can't really discuss racial inequality without including gender, social class, sexuality, and other factors. And then it was hijacked by a white conservative audience and turned into an insult, a way to ridicule people for doing, thinking, or saying anything that was centered around trying to make life easier for those who have traditionally been disadvantaged, and as a way to dismiss the existence of various inequalities.
Bullshit. Such bullshit. Like, it's all about, I mean, my difference of opinion with woke is just like the last guy that spoke. I mean, I think it's a poor strategy, but I am in favor of obviously making life more equal, so everybody has the same kind of opportunities available to them. So, yeah, it's to lump everyone, to say any opposition to wokeness is just, being in favor of racism, I think is just, I mean, it's bullshit. I don't like it.
Okay,
Obviously.
let me possibly be, I don't know if it's misogynist. Let me possibly be a hater here. Let me
What?
ask a question.
Is
So,
this
because I
like
Googled this person,
right?
this individual, Yasmin, I don't know how to say her last name,
Look at Sitch.
Benoit.
I knew you were Googling her as soon
So
as
she's a model.
she said she was an Instagram model.
She's an Instagram model, but she claims to be asexual and aromantic. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So first of all, I'm like, and when she says asexual, she means she is not attracted to having any sort of romantic or sexual relationship with any person at all. Period.
Right. Well,
So
she
first of all,
definitely
it's like,
knows how to attract somebody.
right. So I'm like, okay, is it a little weird that a person who claims they have no interest in anything sexual is a literal model? They get paid to look attractive. Does this make any sense to you?
I mean, it is interesting.
Is that not a contradiction?
Well, I mean, them.
Or are they like, is it a scam? They're like, I'm not interested in it, but I know you are. Pay me, you simps. Like, I don't like what's happening.
Well, that's kind of all modeling, right?
I
It is all
guess
making money from.
I guess that's a good point.
I just
Well,
when you're, I don't like. Is that? I don't know that she's making money off of Sims. I don't know her situation. So
well, it's even more confusing because apparently she's a creator of hashtag this is what asexual looks like. And it's her looking like hot. And I'm like, no, it's white. What? What does that even mean?
that's what
Like,
asexual looks like.
yeah, like there's a picture of her. Like, this is, okay. Listen, I'm not asexual. I don't understand it. But if I see a girl, well, I don't know if she identifies as a girl, but if I see a girl who's wearing short black shorts with fishnets and she's wearing not even a shirt, but literally just a bra,
Right.
so her tits are out, there's nothing asexual about that. She's doing everything she can to emphasize her female form.
Her female
Sexually.
sexuality, yeah.
Yes. How is that asexual? That's completely not asexual. What the hell does asexual mean at
Asexual, I just looked it up. It's not having or involving sex. So, yeah.
I don't understand how you could
non-sexual.
I don't understand how you could be dressed up in like lingerie and saying I'm asexual. It's like, well then why are you dressed like that? That's the opposite of being asexual.
Come on, boomer. Can't just figure it out.
But that's literally the opposite. That's the opposite, but you're sexualizing yourself. That's not asexual.
Figure
That's
it out,
sexual.
boomer. What are you doing? Figure it out. you're supposed
It doesn't make any sense.
But you're the sexual one. She's the asexual one. She's just not interested in you. This is starting to feel like cope. I mean, you're just like upset that she doesn't.
No, I'm just saying, to me, this entire identity doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
Does it make sense to you?
Of course not. But I mean, I'm not losing any sleep over it. Look,
well, we do this thing, Adam. I don't know if you know. We do this thing. It's called a stream.
I know.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. No. I Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe there's some secret handshake or something,
Mm-hmm.
and that goes a long way towards explaining
I
it
mean,
all
I
of this.
sent you the picture. You look at it. She says, "Yes,
Okay.
I am asexual.
I
Yes, I
probably
marched."
I probably can't bring it up though because it's
It's
probably
probably too sexual to bring up.
yeah.
Yes,
So
I
why'd
just
you
don't get
send
it.
it
What
to
does
me?
asexual mean
Oh yeah,
anymore?
we can't bring that up.
What does asexual even mean?
This is
If someone
hilarious.
says, "Listen, I'm asexual. I'm not interested in anything," I say, "Okay, good for you. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that." But then if you say, "I'm asexual and I'm going to dress like I'm a stripper," I'm like, "Well, now I'm really confused as to what's happening here." Why, if you're not interested, like, if you're not interested in sex, what is the point of signaling to the entire world that you want to have sex with somebody?
Well,
Because that's the point
money.
of dressing like that.
Well, if you're gonna dress like a stripper, strippers have a financial incentive to dress provocatively.
You should see her articles. I haven't read anything she's written.
I
You
don't.
misunderstand. She's not asexual. She's saying she is a space sexual. Oh, okay. You're right. I totally misunderstood. You're right. I totally misunderstood.
No, she's saying she's non-sexual, but
Gotcha. Gotcha.
yeah, I just like maybe it's just to throw people off the scent that
Who
she's
knows?
like to, you know, a lot of times people will call women like this floozies and stuff. You know, you're dressing.
No, it's like a core part of her, like everything that you look about her, she's like on her official website, it says official website of asexual activists. She's an ace because asexuals really need an activist. The asexual community is so disenfranchised. Oh my God. Remember that time in history when they just rounded up the asexuals and they put them in the camps? Remember the time when asexuals couldn't vote? Oh, the asexuals have been so underprivileged in our society.
Yeah, they're told. I mean, they're the ones that are not getting any sex. So
The a yeah, there you go. Well, it's so unfair. The asexuals just don't get to have sex with anybody. It's so unfair.
well, at least they're not incels, right? I mean, they're voluntary. They're vol
There you go.
cells.
They're V cells.
Yeah,
Asexual act. I don't know. Whatever. We can
I like V cells better.
just not. This doesn't make sense to me.
Hmm. Are you allowed to? I mean, I thought people in the chat were giving me a hard time because I thought she was attractive. So
She is attractive.
was that allowed? I mean,
That's not allowed.
I don't like psychically.
That's not allowed, Adam.
I mean, is there consent issues here? Is what?
Listen, Adam. She identifies as asexual, and the fact that you have sexualized her in your mind is incredibly offensive to
But
the asexual
I do
community.
feel like maybe this is a trap or something,
Mhm.
and you've fallen right into the trap.
What
You're
is
like,
the trap is what that her entire existence doesn't make sense.
look,
It seems hypocritical to me. How is that a trap?
she is. This is the trap that I see. She's
Mm-hmm.
allowed to dress in lingerie in the middle of the street and say, I am asexual, and therefore, if you objectify me in any way, shape, or form, you're a bigot. Which, I mean, that's
No,
this is.
no. I don't know if that's what she's doing. I don't know if that's what she's doing.
I think that's what she's doing.
If someone says I'm asexual and they just that's fine, and they just dress in a non-sexualized manner, there's nothing wrong with that.
What
That's
side of the
totally fine.
debate? What side of the debate is she on?
She's on the woke side, obviously.
Yeah, there you go. Look at this. Right now, you just committed like 1,000 microaggressions.
I don't know. It seems like she had some like really bad school experience, so maybe she just that's become her identity now or something.
The
She
bad
says her
school
nickname in
experience.
school was hollow and emotionless.
Oh, really?
So I don't know. She says I was practically Lord Voldemort with braids. Well, I don't know. Maybe she's being dramatic here.
Right.
So
Because you're not attracted to anyone. You feel like, well, I mean,
I don't know.
that,
She was very uncomfortable. Her peers would have all these because she was growing up. Obviously, she went to an all-girls school, a bunch of horny girls, and they talked about sex stuff, and it made her feel uncomfortable. It's like, okay, I don't know.
a thunderstorm in the chat says, Sitch has no chance. Let it go, Sitch. She's asexual.
But see, wait, this makes even less sense. If she's complaining about how her peers were having all these
That's
sexual
hilarious.
conversations, why is she dressing sexual in public? This just like seems like bullshit to me.
Lord Cringedemont.
This seems total bullshit. Yeah, there you go.
That's awesome.
She is 100% Lord Cringe.
Lord Cringe.
She shall not be named.
Okay, let us continue.
Anyway.
And look, I don't want any more objectification going on here. Obviously, Yasmin.
Adam, as a man, it's impossible for me to not objectify women, so I find it very sexist that you would suggest I do otherwise.
Well, it would be a lot easier if she just zipped that jacket up a little bit more, just like 3 inches. Would be
just a little more. In the
Jasmine, 3 inches on that zipper, and you'll get asexual.
A little bit more asexual.
You'll get asexual out of this entire audience.
Right.
I mean, she's got to know that. Maybe the asexual thing is she can't. That's the problem. She doesn't understand how much she's being sexual.
I don't know. Like, this article I'm reading from her, it seems so sus, so bullshit. She says, "My activism would be the gateway to the community. Despite being the quote ugly friend at school, I ended up becoming a model." Oh, really? She was the ugly friend at school? Okay.
I mean,
this is not so sus to me. Like, really?
This is a classic ugly duckling story. Sure. It is. Yeah. And it turned out I was a beautiful swan.
She didn't go through puberty till she hit 18 at university.
Oh, okay. Look, no more. You've had your fill.
Okay.
We're only focusing on ideas from here on out.
There you go. Okay.
Look at the guy behind her.
He's trying to look something. What is he trying to look at?
Beautiful skirt you're wearing there, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Very asexual.
It's crazy to witness how being woke has gone from being something aspirational for Black people to a pejorative that is used to beat communities down for trying to be informed and helpful.
She just called you a racist. This is what the guy was doing on Twitter. He kept saying, oh, this is a Black word. You guys shouldn't be using it. Like, this is woke is from the Black community.
Well, it was, but it's been appropriated by white people.
Right.
By white woke people. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe she
in a
just
short
has some
space of
weird...
time, we've gone from having hashtags like.
Maybe she just has some weird.
Why did you pause it here, Sitch? Please, you're killing me.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. Oh, really? Am I killing you? Why does that kill you, Adam?
I don't know.
How dare you objectify this asexual being? Okay. Maybe she just has some weird definition of asexual because she says asexuality doesn't make you undesirable or unable to desire others.
What?
I mean, literally, I thought it did. I thought it's a definition.
Please make it stop. Words have lost all meaning.
It is a unique experience of sexuality, not a deprivation from it. No,
Please.
It is definitely a deprivation of it by definition.
Please stop. Stop.
It doesn't make any sense.
This is so bad.
Okay, I think I know what's going on. She says, "The love of a romantic partner won't complete me because I was born complete." Well, first of all, no one's born complete or perfect.
Right.
But secondly, feeling sexual attraction to others won't liberate me because my liberation is not dependent on other people. Okay, I don't think she actually is asexual. I think she has her notions in this mind that she's so rebellious. This is like, she was like born like the most rebellious rebel of all time. She's like, all my friends are talking about boys, so I must rebel against the concept of relationships. I won't let it define me.
All of this she's preaching, though, is an individualist ideology. It's funny that she came down on the side of collectivism in this debate. Yeah.
Exactly. That's a good point. It's a very good point. Anyway. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with the asexuality now, I hope.
Are you sure?
Closing the articles. I'm closing her page. It all sounds like gobbledygook to me, but what do I know? I'm a boomer, right?
Yeah.
Like hashtag stay woke, which derived from Black American protesters pleading for people to be more conscious of inequalities, to phrases like go woke, go broke, encouraging multi-million-pound corporations to stop caring about inequality, which sounds kind of counterproductive to me. Because isn't that what woke really is when you break it down? Caring. Can caring go too far?
Yes. What is that kind of question? Is that? Of course, caring can go too far. What are you talking about?
How?
What? Do stalkers care too much, Adam?
Yeah.
Is that an example of caring going too far?
Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
true.
What about the
Obviously.
Nazis? Didn't they care too much about some things?
What they cared about was just
Yeah. Is that caring going too far?
Okay.
Okay. What
Well,
about
she
the
would
over?
argue. She would argue that that was not caring.
Right.
But
Of course. Of
this
course.
is exactly what I was thinking too. Like sure, their idea of caring is completely parochial. It's like, yeah, we care about our group, but if you're a conservative, obviously,
Exactly.
off to the gas chambers with you. Isn't
But
it just
even-
about caring?
Right. But even using, as you're right, she would say, well, that's not what I mean by caring. But even using her way in which she would mean caring, this is what Jordan Peterson talks about all the time. The overbearing mother.
Totally.
The smother mother. That's caring too much.
Yeah.
Yes.
As a Black woman, as an asexual activist, I've been told that I am the epitome of wokeness going too far. Everything that I am, everything that I do is symptomatic of our society going down the drain. And the fact that I use new words that aren't actually new and speak about concepts that are actually hundreds of years old but seem new, and wave unfamiliar flags and fall within the plus section of the alphabet mafia is all a step too far. But I'm happy to join the leagues of others who have...
Look at that. She doesn't even get her own letter. All she gets is a plus. Terrible. That is true inequality.
There you go.
gone too far in the name of equality or wokery, because our society would be a lot worse without woke people of the past. I mean, take a rather popular example. Martin Luther King, who is held to very high esteem now, but had a nearly 75% public disapproval rating, according to a Harris poll in 1968, which was the year of his death. Despite being famously nonviolent, he was relentless.
Yeah, this is the one that I hate.
Not talking about
my
asexuality, but still on the misogyny rant. Okay.
Sitch, oh my God.
Well, no, I'm going to say, listen, she's being hypocritical.
Right.
In the way everything about her appearance is her adhering to white fashion and white beauty standards. She has straightened her hair, and she's wearing like a goth girl outfit.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm fine with that because I believe that we should have colorblind culture, but the woke people don't believe that. They think they would accuse her of basically, becoming
cultural appropriation. Of
yes, but also that
European.
she is internally anti-black,
right?
And she just doesn't realize it.
FT Signifier would not be happy with this.
Well, I don't know. We'll ask him. Are you happy with this outfit?
No, this is an
prosecuted
whiteness.
Yes.
Attacked, supporting issues like desegregation and workers' strikes.
Whoa. They're for desegregation now?
Yeah, wait, what?
I thought the woke were for segregation. They were the ones that were like, we don't want any white people in our spaces.
Yeah.
Wait a second here. That's why we're talking about wokeness going too far. When wokeness goes so far that now they're advocating for segregation. They're taking steps backwards. Yeah.
Evergreen.
Yeah. Evergreen's a perfect example.
Women's right to vote, combating poverty was seen as being a step too far, and he was assassinated for it. And when...
Oh, she's talking about, we paused at a bad time. She's still talking about Martin Luther King. Yeah, exactly.
Simone de Beauvoir wrote The Second Sex. She ignited the second wave of feminism. She advocated for women to have the same entitlement to work as men, the same bodily autonomy as men, the same entitlement to pleasure as men.
Okay.
Dubois.
I want to tell you,
Sylvia Dubois. Is that
what's happening right now?
Okay.
Maybe I'm reading into this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of guys that are looking down.
I see. Oh, wow.
You see this?
All except for this guy right here. Where's he looking? Let's see. Let's see if I can do a little arrow across with this.
Why do you think those guys are looking down?
Look at this guy here. He's got a little. I mean, he's locked in.
You mean that guy in the back?
He's like Spock. We need a tractor beam over here.
Wait, which guy are you talking about?
The guy staring at her behind, sitting right behind her.
Oh no. Yeah, but look at the
I know
guy.
all the guys on this side are looking down. Yeah.
Yes, but look at the guy on stage
Right.
on the left. He's look at where his eye are.
Oh, he's soaking it in.
Yes. I'm wondering if all these guys are like they're doing their hardest not to look at her cleavage. Like that's why they're looking down. They're like, oh my God.
Of course.
It's like magnets. They're like, I can't stay, I can't look, I can't look.
Is that, I mean,
Is that what's happening here? Am I reading into this too much?
is that cultural? Does culture train us to look like right there at the cleavage?
I don't think so.
Is it a cultural thing?
I
Were
don't
you
think
taught
so.
it? Was there a class that they brought you into and said, "Listen,
Even the president, the guy in the king's chair,
is trying
he's
to look
like looking,
away"?
but trying to look like he's not looking.
Oh yeah, he
like,
does. You're right. He's got one eye.
He's
got.
he's like, I'm not looking at her tits, but I'm totally staring at her tits.
Yeah, because he's got his head cocked like he's looking across the room, but you can see his eyes are completely fixated. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. They did this on purpose.
They did.
They totally did this.
Well,
on
the
purpose.
interesting thing is, so going back to the first speaker, because she was wearing a dress that had cleavage, but this is interesting. I think because it was like, it looked like a formal evening gown, like your brain, it just doesn't register. You're like, oh, yeah, she has cleavage, but it's like your brain just kind of like acknowledges it and then you move on. But she's wearing like this like weird Catwoman suit with the zipper that looks like at any second it's gonna just like pop off or something. And so I think it's just like everyone can't, like all these guys, they just can't not fixate on it.
Are you saying that you didn't notice the cleavage in the first?
No, I did, but it wasn't like,
I mean, I
don't think it was causing every man in the room to be distracted. Now maybe it was, and I just wasn't causing me to be distracted, but it just seemed like
I think
like
it
when
was.
we could go back to the first video. I don't remember like looking at the room and thinking like every man looks uncomfortable in this scene.
Right. I think
But
it
here,
might just
like
be.
this is the perfect shot. Like that, like everyone looks like they're trying so hard to not look at her tits.
I think it's more pronounced here because of the asexual stuff.
I don't. I think it's because she's wearing this weird zippered Catwoman suit.
No, I think it's it is. Look, I'm a firm believer in just irony being
Right.
an attention grabber. And this is the ultimate form of irony. It's like, I'm an asexual, but here, look, I'm going to look as hot as I possibly can. So the other girl doesn't have that irony. So you're just like, okay, you know, she's dressed attractively. She's attractive. Let's just move on, right? Here we're like, oh my God, I can't figure this out. How is this asexual?
See, look, it's not just the sexist men. Even Aiden says, I may only be half of a gay, but as half a gay, I can't not look at her tits every time she's on screen. I'm telling you, it's the tactical zippered suit.
Oh, it's
the suit. It's the outfit. It's 100% the outfit.
Sitch is going with the zipper.
I'm telling you. It's the zipper.
Okay.
Because it looks like at any second, it's just going to go like,
maybe.
It's like, there was I don't remember his name, the lawyer from Inherit the Wind.
Okay.
What was his name?
Atticus
You know what I'm talking
Finch?
about? No, what? No, that's Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, okay.
Inherit the Wind was based off of a real person.
Oh, Aaron Brockovich?
Okay. Anyway, the lawyer for the Scopes monkey trial.
Right. Oh, that guy. Yeah.
I read the lawyer's name, but anyway, I watched a one-man show about his life. It was very interesting. And apparently in real life, he would do this thing where sometimes if he was like the other attorney was giving his closing statement, he would get a cigar and he would stick a wire through it so that the ashes would never fall off.
I remember this. Yes.
And so he would start smoking and the jury get distracted because they'd see like this massive ash thing forming on the cigar and they would keep expecting it to fall and it never would fall. And so people just couldn't concentrate on what the other lawyer was saying because they just stare at the cigar like, when is it going to fall?
Yeah. So the other attorney's closing statement would be, he'd be done and they'd be like, what did he say?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, because like, so it's distracting because you keep expecting something to happen and then it just never happens. So
yeah. You're like, when's the treat pop out?
Exactly. Anyway, let's continue. I'll try to keep my misogyny in check.
The same ability to love without domination as men. And so naturally her work was censored and banned by the Vatican. It was a step too far, a bit too woke for the time.
First of all, I fundamentally disagree with this argument because
She's making an argument?
well, no, this
I'm
is
sorry. Well,
they always do this. It's like,
yes.
let's pick all of the places where the progressive movement was successful and just ignore all of the places where it was a tragic failure. And because
Right.
we're advocating for this other thing, which could be a tragic failure because, you know, they don't have 100% batting average on this stuff, no matter how much they try to gaslight people into believing that. So they trot at all the wins and just ignore all the losses and say, you know, obviously this is going to be a win because we never lose. Hey, go team. It's a bad argument. It's a totally bad argument.
It was funny because when you tweet something about
to that effect, basically.
To that effect, and the classic example that you go to, which is a good example, is prohibition.
Yes.
And there's this person in your comments who is like, prohibition was not a woke movement. And I said, well, it was literally pushed by the progressive movement at the time, and it was pushed by progressive women and Christian women under the idea that it would help calm down domestic violence.
Yeah, Christian socialist women. Yeah,
right.
It's got another one in there.
And they said, no, it was conservative Christians. And I would literally just screenshot pictures from articles and even Wikipedia that would say progressive movement, progressive movement, progressive movement, progressive movement, progressive movement. And this person, like, they couldn't perceive reality. They wouldn't even see the image. They just kept repeating themselves. It's conservative Christians, conservative Christians, conservative Christians. I'm like, but it says right here, it's the progressive movement. And they say, no. Don't try to confuse my feelings with your facts. And they'd stick their fingers in their eyeballs and they would close their ears and go, no.
Yeah, because they can't fathom it. It's even funny with the prohibition movement because the people who were against prohibition were the big business distillers and brewers. What's changed there? Like, well, isn't that the representation of the Republican Party?
Right, but it's all survivors' bias.
Of course, that's exactly what it is.
We only fixate on the quote unquote progressive movements that succeeded. But then it's the same thing. Like, it's interesting. Like, conservatives have the opposite of survivor's bias.
Oh, really?
It's like, yeah, because it's like all the things that continue, all the aspects of society that continue,
they think are an utter failure.
Well, no, they ignore. Like, we don't even think about that.
Right.
Like, we don't even process. Like, oh, well, all these ideas have continued. Like the idea of marriage whatsoever. That you should even get married and have kids. Now, there obviously are leftists that are pushing against that, but they're on the very edges. And that's part of why they try to hide this like anti-nuclear family stuff, because that wouldn't swing with the mainstream audience.
But they do categorize a lot of things that we would consider successes as failures, like women voting, for instance.
Sure. Well, some people would.
Some would, obviously not. I mean,
but yeah, I would say women voting should be a conservative position because it's been around for so long.
Yeah. But I think Matt Walsh would be against women.
I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
But even voting in general.
Yeah. We might have a debate on that.
You could go further back to the 1800s. There was a German teacher and clinician called Emma Tross, who was the first known woman to publish.
Yeah, let me go back to the 1800s, this time that we had a success. How about we go back to the Great Leap Forward in Maoist China, where, millions of people were killed.
Right.
Because they said, hey, everyone stop farming. We're going to become an industrialized nation. You need to smelt down your plows and stuff. We need steel. That turned out to be a great idea.
Scientific works on homosexuality, specifically lesbianism. And fun fact, she was also asexual, and she argued that same-sex attraction and asexuality were not abnormal or exceptions to the natural order, and as such, we should not be discriminated against, and the state should take measures to protect
Wait. What was this person's name? I gotta look this up.
Who was the first known too far, a bit too woke for the time. You could go further back to the 1800s. There was a German teacher and clinician called Emma Tross, who was the first known woman to publish scientific works on homosexuality, specifically lesbianism. And fun fact, she was also asexual, and she argued that same-sex attraction and asexuality were not abnormal or exceptions to the natural order, and as such, we should not be discriminated against, and the state should take measures to protect people's right to sexual freedom. And as you can imagine, that didn't get a great reception in the 1890s. It was seen as going a step too far, and the articles were censored and banned. It was a bit too woke for the time.
It's only 200 years ago.
I can't find this person.
We got a heckler.
I can't find this person.
I just
Do you want to chat? No, she said Emma Tross. Emma Trask.
I thought that's what she said. Are asexual people being discriminated against? I mean,
I found it. Emma Tross. Okay. No, who's discriminating? It's not even like an issue. No one even thinks about.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. Like, I think we've had a good time thinking about it and like, okay, this is hilarious.
You know, you say like we're like obviously homosexuals were persecuted. I don't remember asexuals ever being persecuted. Like I don't even know what that means.
Right. Get the asexual.
Get the asexual. She doesn't want to have sex with someone. Get her. I was like, what? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, who's the heckler?
I don't know. Let's hear what they say.
Sorry, you're gonna kill my flow. Could we just like wait? Sorry. Sorry, I'm 6 wines in at this point. There's been delays.
She's drunk.
She cut off the
Crunk.
heckler. What do you mean?
Did it give us a caption? I wasn't looking at what they were saying or no?
No, but we'll back it up because I want to hear.
Don't worry.
No, I want to hear.
Oh, okay.
Imagine that didn't get a great reception in the 1890s. It was seen as going a step too far, and the articles were censored and banned. It was a bit too woke for the time. Sorry, you're gonna kill my flow. Could we just like wait? Sorry.
I don't think there's any possible way we can.
He said point of contention.
Oh, is that all he said?
I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard his
point of contention.
Okay.
I mean, he's gonna bring it
Sorry,
up.
I'm 6 wines in at this point. There's been delays.
What's 6 ones in?
Wines.
Oh, 6 wine.
Oh, maybe she meant lines. I don't know. I thought she said wines.
6 lines in. Okay.
She could be drunk. I believe it.
I'll get to you afterwards. And history doesn't really remember her as much, unfortunately, but it does remember Magnus Hirschfeld, who came not long after. And here's a guy in the late 1800s who was campaigning for the decriminalization of homosexuality and even talking about asexuality, transgender rights, suggesting that queerness exists in every culture, and he wanted to decriminalize abortion, and he joined feminist organizations and even criticized the hypersexualization of black women under white supremacy. And of course, he was deemed as being.
Oh my God! Please! Oh, the irony! Oh, the irony! You're reading, so you missed.
What'd she say about white supremacy? I heard white supremacy in my ears.
She said the hypersexualization of black women under white supremacy. I know. I knew you couldn't. I was like, Sitch might have missed that, but.
No.
Yeah. Whoa.
What the?
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, she's got to be fucking trolling. Okay. She must be this. I take it all back. Yasmin here is a genius. This is an Andy Kaufman-esque troll.
Is it? I hope so.
It has to be.
I mean, this is.
She's like, I'm gonna
there.
dress up like in a fucking G-string and a bra, and I'm gonna go out there and say I'm asexual, and that this is what asexual looks like, and then I'm gonna go out and like wear this outfit that looks like my tits are gonna pop out any second. I'm gonna say it's the white supremacists that are sexualizing black women.
Look at this.
This has to be a troll.
I look at James Lindsay sneaking a peek.
This has to be a troll. There's no other explanation for this. This person is a genius and this is a troll. I refuse to believe anything else. I refuse.
I mean, that would go a long way towards explaining this.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Well, didn't the first guy talk about rationality and reasonableness and stuff? I feel like we've just completely left rationality and reasonableness.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
back at home. We're like out in the woods now.
Mm-hmm.
Way too leftist. For the time, he was violently attacked, his works were burned by Nazis, and he was exiled. And it was too woke, apparently, and if he said that now, it would probably still be considered as being too woke over 100 years later. And I'm so glad that those people went too far back then, because in hindsight, it really wasn't that far. And they made undeniable contributions to how we understand the world now. But so many issues that they were
So did Chairman Mao. Undeniable
Wow.
contributions.
Got him.
I mean, millions of people had to die, but we definitely understand communism doesn't work now.
tackling then are still hardly addressed issues in modern times. How can wokeness go too far when it's still just a conversation? A conversation that isn't as new as discourse makes it out to be. A conversation trying to change issues that still haven't been solved. We could debate for hours about what too far means, but I'm sure we could all agree that for something to go too far, it has to actually go somewhere. And I mean, we live in a society where the wealth divide is widening, even more so for ethnic minorities and women. Conversion therapy for LGBTQIA plus people is still legal.
See, that's
What?
I don't know about the last thing that she said, but the wealth disparity, like the reason why that wealth disparity is not being improved is because you guys adopted identity politics
Right.
instead of focusing on everyone is the same and that we should focus on economic issues. So this is your own creation. Like it's going to get nothing. It's going to get worse and worse and worse because you care more about transgender bathrooms than you do about affordable housing. So it is what it is. If you guys want to wake up and join the rest of the people who are concerned about issues that actually affect people, then
Right.
That'd be great.
Trans people in a society where the wealth divide is widening, even more so for ethnic minorities and women. Conversion therapy for LGBTQIA plus people is still legal. Trans people are waiting up to 3 years for a first appointment at a gender clinic. Black women are 4 times more likely to die in childbirth than white women. And rape prosecutions in England and Wales have fallen by 70% despite the Me Too movement, even though more sexual assaults are being recorded.
Why? I wish I knew why that black woman dying in childbirth statistic was. Because I feel like there's a reason there that is probably not
racism.
Doctors hate black women and want them to die in childbirth.
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
Like maybe they don't seek prenatal care or something.
We
I'm
did
not
look it
sure.
up because this came up in one of the streams.
Oh, they use it again and again. We need to commit it to memory. We
I
need to put
did
up on
look
the
it up.
wall.
I don't remember what the answer. I think you're right. I thought the theory was it has something to do with prenatal care.
Right. Which, I mean, you can't force people to seek prenatal care. If they
No.
can't afford prenatal care, I mean, that's understandable. I get it.
Well, also, I'm sure it has something to do with income inequality. If there's a disproportionate number of black women that are poor, there's going to be a disproportionate number of black women
That don't seek,
Yeah. that don't seek prenatal care and thus die or have complications.
They probably could,
So-
though. They probably could. They just, there's probably welfare programs that will definitely give free prenatal care. It's not the evil conservatives that are saying, no.
No.
Things have improved, but not that much. Not enough for us to start demonizing progress and new ideas. And I'm not saying that
Sitch, why are you always demonizing progress and new ideas? You're such just demonizing things.
I know. Such a demon.
Yeah.
Look at me. I look like
Demonizing asexual rights. The right not to have sex.
I'm demonizing the woman wearing the Catwoman suit with her tits about to pop up, saying that it's only the white supremacists that are sexualizing her.
Mm-hmm.
every new idea and outcome is going to be a keeper. There's going to be some outliers, some extremes, and I'm sure that the opposition is going to zoom.
Did she? Oh my God. I feel like she actually made a concession.
Idea and outcome is going to be a keeper.
Not all ideas and outcomes are going to be a keeper. So she's recognizing this is progress. Look, I I feel like we made some progress here.
There we go.
Some real progress.
There's going to be some outliers, some extremes, and I'm sure that the opposition is going to zoom in on those examples because outliers is all they really have, because nothing that substantial has happened. And I'm not saying that your average woke kid on TikTok is going to be the next Simone de Beauvoir, and I'm not saying that the next woke hot take on Twitter, if Twitter's still around, will be revered like the works of Aristotle. But even Aristotle had some bad ideas, and so did Simone de Beauvoir, for being honest. And it's okay to not be into everything, but trying to stifle progress out of the fear that it's going to go too far means that we're not going to go anywhere at all. And as a believer in evolution, I believe that we shouldn't stop evolving as a culture and as a society. So I hope that the House applies that empathy to the everyday realities of marginalized groups and less to the panic-stroking headlines of the mainstream media and clickbait headlines on YouTube channels. Thank you.
Shots fired.
At us, I know, and Elon Musk.
He would never.
I don't
Ever.
Our it's not that
Use clickbait. Okay.
our title is not really clickbait enough. I think you
No.
should. I think you should change it to sexy, asexual Instagram model.
Asexual Instagram model. It's almost fly. No, asexual Instagram cleavage. You won't believe what happens next.
Yeah, do that. That's the awesome title.
You
right
like
there.
that? That's a good title.
Yeah. Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.